What's up, everybody? My name is Lisa Owen. We are out here in Dallas, Texas at Video Marketing World. Some amazing creators. One I have sitting next to me. I've been following him for a while now. Legit, when I legit needed to figure out how to do stuff, his videos were some of the first videos to come up on YouTube. And it was basic stuff like how to get your studio setup looking right, your background. And I think the first video I saw from him was about how to get your background looking right.
Yeah.
So minuscule, right? But it actually means a lot.
It's huge.
Yeah, so welcome to the stage. Owen Video,
hey,
man.
What's
going
up,
on, man?
dude? So good to be here.
I'm a big fan. Look at this, man.
I know.
This is swag.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up.
Stand up, turn around.
Yeah,
it's
I've got some
where do I get this
all
from,
the way
man?
around, you know. So look, I'm telling you, we came out here we were in Vid Summit 2018, and I had brought my whole crew with me. I had brought my videographer, I brought my photographer, I had brought my DP, right? So we had a whole crew here. Everybody had these jackets on, so you can imagine 4 or 5 Ds rolling down. Yeah, no, we looked fly, and that's that's part of I think this game is how you present yourself, and and one thing that's really I think been beneficial for me is being able to be myself without feeling. While feeling accepted, or while feeling like it's accepted here, because these are my people here.
I love it, man. I love it. I just love how he's just showtime, man. There's not many people when the camera turns on, they're showtime. You know what I'm saying? What is that about you that's the camera's on, I'm ready? I'm always ready to go.
I think that for me, it goes right down to my core and a commitment to God, to who I need to be. Woo. I need to be who I need to be.
Wow.
And so I remember when Facebook came out, I was living in the back room of some guy's house in Ventura, California. Just starting to get my feet solid on planet ground, and Facebook had come out. Friendster had already been out, MySpace had been around, but Facebook was brand new and coming out, and a lot of people were sort of doing screen names. The screen names were really big at this time.
I remember.
So I remember in the very beginning deciding that I was always going to be my name, Owen Hemsath. Owen Video is sort of my business name, but Owen Hemsath, and I'm going to be that person on the internet, off the internet.
Wow.
And so when you say I'm Showtime, I know what you mean, because I've been trained in media.
Wow.
But there's an element, would you agree, to I'm this way off camera?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. What you see is what you get. Virtually and IRL in real life.
Yes.
So I love that. One thing that I love that you said, so he was, I think, my 3rd or 4th guest on my show, Creators on the Come Up.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
So it's inspired my new show. It has. No, it has.
What's up. So and that show, what I'm calling this is Creators on the Come Up on the Road, right?
Yeah.
And we can get into the weeds of the technicalities and all these other nuances of content creation, but the biggest piece for me are people's stories, right?
Yeah.
And he said something on my show that literally I get up with every day, right? And he said, most people wake up looking for the miracle, when they don't realize when they woke up, that was the miracle.
Yeah.
And our only job to do every day is to walk our miracle out. Walk in our miracle.
Yeah.
Man, could you just talk a little bit about that? Because that is so transforming for me.
Yeah, this type of thinking came about when I was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer about a year ago is when I was diagnosed. And that's probably the scariest news that someone in America can hear. Why? Because it's the #1 cause of death. You'll hear that it's heart attack, but it's actually cancer, and you'll hear that over next year's studies, that it's actually cancer, and cancer has overtaken heart attacks and heart disease. It's the #1 killer of men in this country. And when you think about cancer, your thoughts go to bald, wheelchair, sunken eyes, puffy face, all the chemo stuff, right? There's a death culture associated with cancer news, and I was certainly a part of that. I was scared to death, and I had to figure out how to get out of that mess, right? And as I began to read and study and learn about cancer, that was the hardest part, by the way. It was just reading about my own cancer,
the knowledge.
Yeah, exactly, and walking in that space. But then you learn about survivor stories, and you learn about how the body works, and it is a miracle, literally, right now that the Earth doesn't stop spinning, right? It is a miracle that the sun rises again. The greatest logicians, right? The greatest logic thinkers, George Bernard Shaw and so forth, they've had these debates in the 70s about, is there any proof that the sun will rise again scientifically? The answer is no. We have no guarantee of tomorrow. This is a thing that people talk about. And so we look at what the cell does inside of your body. The cell takes this food that you eat, extracts the good stuff, and then discards the bad stuff. And then if you eat too much of the bad stuff, it actually stores the bad stuff in your fat cells, which you have to do some serious detoxing. You eat plants detox it. Fascinating work the body does. And we're so wrapped up in like, oh, I got to get the kids to soccer practice. I got to get 1,000 views. I've got to like get my label off the ground. When the fact that you're awake and breathing is enough to say hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have that attitude, you can conquer anything.
Wow.
When you have this belief that like, man, it's a miracle that I'm here right now. So what can I do in this miracle? What can I do with this miracle? And that's when we say walk in your miracle. That's what we're talking about.
That's amazing. Listen, I'm not going to hold him hostage. This is one of the biggest influencers in my content creation journey, and he's a keynote here and your keynote was amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Amazing. And so what I will say is go to his YouTube channel, and like it's an encyclopedia of knowledge for content creation, video marketing, tons of things. So I'm not going to waste his time on that stuff.
It's never a waste. Let me tell you something. This man came up and did some real music at this event, and it moved me to tears. I say you were wearing my shirt.
Wow.
And you were singing this song called Hell or High Water.
Yes, yeah.
And I relate to those lyrics about you keep going no matter what.
Wow.
And I just sat there, bro, and the tears came out like there was nothing.
Wow.
There's nothing I could do to stop them. Man. And I'll tell you, the best moment at this conference for me was giving you a hug after that.
Yeah. You moved me to tears during that hug.
Presentation.
I had to get out and kind of clean myself up.
Oh, bro, I was a mess. I was a mess. And so, I want you to know it's a pleasure to be on your channel, to be talking to your audience, and that you are doing the work that needs to be done to make it in this space. So
thank you so much, man. Yeah. So thank you for sitting down with me, man. I know you have a lot going on. Keep inspiring people. I know it may sound cliche, right? So forgive it if it sounds cliche, but God gives us, they say that God gives us what he knows we can bear, what we can do. Yeah. Other people can't face what we can face. Right?
Amen, bro. And it also says that God makes us more than a conqueror. In Psalms, it says he gave me hands. He made my hands for war so that I could bend bows of bronze, right? And like he doesn't love David, King David, more than he loves more you. You know what I mean? He can make your hands strong, and you can be more than a conqueror. So no matter what we come across, the solution is there. Are you going to be the conqueror you need to be? Woo! Are you going to walk in the miracle? That's the question.
Love it, man. Mic drop. There's nothing more to say. I appreciate you. I love you, bro. I will see you around. Hopefully, I'll spend more conferences.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man. All right. Peace.